to Grandma Doctor's Kitchen. I got a good one for you today. Today I'm starting my holiday series and you don't want to miss it. It's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting, it's going to be simple, and it's going to be easy, and most of all it's going to be delicious. Okay? And I have a special guest here, my daughter from Texas. She is here visiting me and she's going to help me with the jambalaya, Louisiana style. Hello. So this is my baby, my knee baby. In Mississippi, the baby, this is the one that's before the baby. In Mississippi, we call her a knee baby. So she is my knee baby. My knee baby. She's a girl and the baby is a girl.
Okay, so we're going to start with the jambalaya, and here you see all the ingredients needed to make delicious jambalaya southern style. So right here we'll first start with the meats, and we have sausage,
Louisiana style,
but you can choose whatever kind of sausage you like. We used mild for this so that you know, the people that will be eating this, they really don't like spicy food, but if you like to kick it up a notch, they also have Louisiana style hot sausage, and you can use that. Then here we have some shrimp. We cut the shrimp in half, extra large shrimp, so that we can kind of double the amount of shrimp for the recipe. And then we have here chicken, and we use dark meat. We used legs and thighs, and we seasoned it, added onion, and boiled it down, and then deboned it. Here you have your vegetables, which is diced celery, green peppers, onions, red peppers. Then we have our herbs here. We have some dill, fresh dill, thyme, parsley, and bay leaves. Garlic. Every recipe needs to have garlic, so you have to have some fresh garlic here. We have our oil, and then we have some shrimp stock. And what we did is we took the shells from the shrimp and we boiled them down, and we made a stock with it, which is going to add a very, very powerful flavor to the jambalaya. We did the same thing here with the chicken stock. We used the chicken that we boiled. We used the water we boiled the chicken down with, made a broth out of that, and we have that here that we'll add in the recipe. And we have 4 cups of white jasmine rice. You can use any, you know, parboiled rice or any other type of rice, but most recipes I use jasmine rice, and it comes out very fragrant and delicious. Then we have our seasonings. Just going to be your standard, you know, Creole seasoning or any other type of seasoning you'd like to use. Tony Satrin is one of my favorites. We have our sea salt, pepper, red pepper, ground red pepper here, and paprika. Do you want to take it from here, Mom?
Yes. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go over to the stove, and we're going to use the oil right here. This is about a half a cup. Because first thing we're going to do is brown the sausage. So we're going to take our Dutch oven to the stove, and we're going to, and so we'll be back and show you what it looks like once we get started.
Okay guys, now we're back and we're at the stove. So what we did is we added the half a cup of vegetable oil, and now we have the sausage browning. So you put that in first because it takes a while to actually you know, brown and cook the sausage. You want to make sure it's very thoroughly cooked through. So this looks like it's just about done. Okay, so now what we want to do at this point is we want to start adding in our vegetables. I always start with my onions first because I like to let my onions cook for a little bit longer and kind of sweat them out. So I put my onions in first, and then if you notice, everything's kind of uniformly cut and very diced very small, and that's because we use the mini chopper. So it's one of those kitchen gadgets that you can buy at Bed Bath & Beyond or Walmart that cuts your prep time in half. So we have the onions in here now, so let's kind of make sure I get all of them. Let those cook for a little bit. Now I'm going to add in the green peppers. And this is about 1.5 cups of each. So How I like to measure it is, my mom likes to say 1.5 cups or a cup. I like to say I used 2 onions, 1 bell pepper, that is green, 1 red bell pepper, and 3 celery stalks. Okay, we mix that in there. Now we'll add the red bell pepper. And we have the stove on medium-high heat. That in there. Then we have our celery. So we're going to add that celery in there if you want to take them. Oh, Mom, there's a little bit more in here. Okay. So I'm going to add that celery in there. So now I'm just going to give everything a really good stir. And then I'm going to put the lid on and let it cook down for about 5 minutes. So when we return, this should be, all the vegetables should be cooked down. Hi guys. Okay, so we're back. And it's been about 5 minutes. And as you can see here, we have all of our vegetables, you know, kind of cooked down into the sausage. So what we want to do now is we want to just start, you know, just layering in the ingredients, which is essentially layering in the flavors. So what we're going to start with first is the garlic. We're going to add some garlic in here now. Kind of stir that in. Then we're going to add in some of our seasonings. So we're going to do some pepper, and this is really to taste. So, you know, I don't want to say add in, you know, 2 teaspoons, because you may want more or less. But, you know, I just kind of eyeball it. Put some pepper in there. Okay. Then some salt. I prefer sea salt. I never use iodized salt. I'm not going to put too much salt in there, just enough to kind of wake up the flavors and help them marry together. Because a lot of the ingredients we're putting in here have high sodium, so you don't want to overpower your dish with, you know, with sodium and it's too salty. We're going to add some dark chili pepper. Kind of give it a little kick. Everyone needs Tony Satrin, so we got to add some of that in here. Give that a stir. Okay, now let me just finish this off with some paprika. Smoked paprika is what I prefer to use in mostly all the dishes that I make. Kind of gives it a real smoky flavor that kind of lends to the
sausage, smoky sausage.
And then we're going to do some ground red pepper. Just a little bit, because as I stated before, the people that we're going to be serving this dish to don't really like a lot of spicy food. So you just want to put enough spice to kind of, you know, add to the flavor, but not enough to where it's overpowering the dish. So now that I have that stirred in, what I want to do now is add in the rice. So I like to add my rice in to kind of get it brown, kind of brown it in with the oil.
That's right.
So if you want to take this one, thank you. Just want to stir the rice in now. So it's really just kind of folding it in at this stage, just kind of get that rice all mixed in. Remember, you're not really cooking it, you're just trying to get some flavor on it, trying to get a little browning on it with the oil. And this is about 4 cups of rice. As you see, that rice kind of absorbed all the liquid that was in the pot, and that's okay. That's what you want it to do. we have broth that we're going to put in at the final stages when we kind of simmer this out and cook it all together. Okay, so then now we're going to add in the chicken. And one thing me and my mom were talking about when we were prepping for this is we want to make sure we let you guys know that when it comes to any dishes that you make, especially when it turns out to be like a one-pot dish or casserole like such, you want to make sure that each ingredient stands alone. So when we made the chicken and we cooked the chicken down, we made sure that the seasoning was right and it tasted good on its own. So if we didn't add this chicken to the jambalaya and we were going to eat it by itself, it was still a tasty dish. So you make sure that each element of the dish stands alone very well. Cut that out because I just messed that up. Okay. So you want to make sure that each ingredient in the dish kind of stands alone as far as flavor and all of that stuff. Okay, so now we're going to add in the tomatoes. And I don't think that we mentioned this on the beginning of the video. But you do definitely need tomatoes in jambalaya. And what we did is we had 2 cans of diced tomatoes in the sauce. I'm gonna mix this in here. Now the beauty of this Dutch oven is it kind of helps you when you need to kind of stir everything together and kind of get down in the bottom of the pot. So make sure whatever pot you choose to use, make sure it's wide like this and not something that's tall like this. Tall in cylinder shape. You want to kind of have something more round. Kind of helps you really get in there and mix everything up. Okay, so now that we added the tomatoes and we have everything, really incorporated, I'm going to add in the fresh herbs. So we have our dill here. Then we're going to do the thyme. And the bay leaves. And the parsley. So now once we mix all this in, I'm going to add in the chicken stock and the shrimp stock. And then we're going to cover this and let it cook for about 15 minutes. We want to get the rice almost done, and then we'll add in the shrimp because we don't want the shrimp to cook too long. Okay, so now I have that kind of in here. Let me add in the shrimp stock. And chicken stock. And slowly mix all this in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it up and let it cook for about 15 minutes. I'm going to come back and check it in about 10 minutes to see if I need to add some more broth. We'll see you soon. Okay, welcome back, guys. So what we just did is we let it cook for about 15 minutes. I came and checked it at 10 minutes to make sure the broth level was okay, if I need to add more broth or not. We were fine. I didn't need to add any more broth. So what I'm going to do now is add the last ingredient, which is a shrimp. We add the shrimp in last because it doesn't take that long for shrimp to cook, and you don't want to overcook the shrimp because then it gets really tough and hard. So if you take that one. So we add the shrimp in here, and I'm just going to slowly kind of fold it in. And you see all the ingredients kind of dancing in the pot right now. And now we reduce the heat down to a medium low. And now we're just going to basically simmer it out as it cooks for this last 15 minutes. And just kind of come back and check the liquid level periodically to see if you need to add more stock. So we have our reserved chicken stock here that we add as needed based on the level of liquid in the pot.
Now remember, this is a party size amount. So it's the holiday time when you're having a party. This is the party size amount. And also, if you have some left, you can freeze it. Put it in a container and freeze it for later. So don't worry about having too much. You can always freeze it. So our jambalaya is finished. And this is the way it's supposed to look when it's finished. See how fluffy the rice is? And I'm going to show you how to dish it up and how to serve it, okay? So we'll dish it up in another dish, okay? All right, because we won't serve it in this cast iron, you know? So we'll dish it all up. See, at holiday time, we want to have plenty of good food, okay? Don't be skimpy on the food when you're having a party. Make sure you have enough food for everyone, okay? And you can get dishes that you can stretch, you know? See? You see all the shrimp? You see the chicken? Okay? All right? Okay, there you have it. And look, we're going to garnish it with, this is chopped green onions. Okay? It's your garnish, and this is the way we're going to serve it. Okay. We're going to put it on our table with our other foods. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Very good, very good. Very simple, very easy, and a lot of fun, and everybody's going to love it. Okay, so remember, I have a cookbook, so you can order my cookbook and get all these easy, simple, easy step recipes. We make it fun, we make it easy, we make it simple, and you'll have it and give several to your friends for the holiday. And the directions is right on the screen how to order one. Order several, okay? And I'll see you next time. Happy eating to you. Let's have a wonderful, wonderful holiday.